All right, and it looks like we are off to the races as the prologue begins. I'll run over a quick synopsis of the basic controls of the game as you get prepared to climb Celeste Mountain. So Madeline has a jump. Madeline is able to climb and hang on to walls. And as we'll see, she'll also have the dash, the infamous dash. You see in the beginning that we are doing a lot of short hops here as you try to get a sync up and running, which looks like it's going to get together right now. And that basically is save some frames. So if you do it right, you can ultimately save about a second-ish, depending. But our best friend the Crow is going to give Madeline her dash. And we're going to move forward into City. And then also, because City goes by so quick, I'm going to get this out of the way now. City is going to showcase pretty much all of the tech that we have available and we'll be using in the race here. So you're going to see some hyper dashes. You're going to see some wall bounces. You might see a few ultras here or there, and you might see a few corner boosts. So off we go. And again, Hornlitz, this is like his playground, so he's going to move very well through this opening chapter here. But also, Sefi doing as well, too. Just moving along very nicely. No hang-ups so far. Oh, Hornlitz actually taking a death here. On that reverse hyper. I think that might be one of the more advanced tricks available. We'll see. There is going to be possibly an ultra into a corner boost in one of these screens. It's actually going to be the screen coming up on Hornlitz. Going to see if he's going to go for it. He does go for the ultra, but he didn't get the corner boost, so it was very clean. Sefi running into a little bit of a problem here. Missing his jump step, but he is squared away. Alright, both runners are moving along very smoothly. Oh, Sefi taking a death there, not getting his dash back. And Hornlitz out of stamina, but ooh, makes it. He's clocking in at a 107. Sefi hot on his tail here. Looking to maybe get like a 1. Oh no! Taking a death on that spike, not getting the spike jump. But he gets it the second time. Alright. And Sefi is out of City, clocking in at a 1. Look like a 132. Yeah, 132. So I'm actually going to switch the audio over to Hornlitz here as he begins his ascent through Old Site. So now Old Site, as you see, dream blocks are on and popping. These beautiful things shoot Madeline into one direction indefinitely until you get out of them. So you have to be careful because there are some walls behind some of these, which will result in a death. Also on Hornlitz screen, we have Battleline here. She will copy the player's movement on a 3-second delay. So runners have to be mindful to not crisscross their path as they go through these rooms. For the first couple of rooms, it's really not that imminent, but then you get to these places where you have these lock switches. And so it's really important to try to come up with the best route here. Hornlitz doing the best route that we have available for that. Oh, nice reverse hyper to get in position there. SefiCompacto getting his battle and run up and going. As Hornlitz heads into the final screen, we got 5 Battleins ready to chase Madeline off this mountain here. Ooh, missing his... Not getting his dash back there, but able to recover very nicely. And Hornlitz is out. Sefi running into a little bit of trouble in this first lock switch room. But he's going to make it out too, as Hornlitz is making his way to the information booth here to get that phone call. Oh, it's as if he knew I mentioned it. But now he's in the awake section. There aren't any hazards here or anything like that. The real challenge is just having Madeline navigate through this uneven terrain. Nice corner boost, by the way. I see you. There's a lot of just odds and ends that happen, like that corner bop. But it's really up to the player to just try to find the best way to when to hyper, when to occasionally ultra, because I've seen a few of those, and then just make sure that they don't slam into any walls or anything like that. Sefi not far behind, getting into his awake portion here, as Hornlitz moves into my favorite chapter, the resort. So with Resort, you got some Dust Bunny creatures here that kind of just like move about, mind their own business until Madeline slams into them. Hopefully that won't happen a lot from either runner. We got some keys that are required to open up these locks. And then we'll see a little bit later. Yeah, there they go. I like when you run into the Dust Bunnies, they have like this surprised look, like their eyes kind of wide open. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're in my line of sight. I'm just trying to have a good time swirling around these bricks or moving up and down in a nice mesmerizing pattern. Alright, so Sefi now getting into his resort as well. Yeah, no, it is my favorite, and I know a lot of runners. I know it's an unpopular opinion because a lot of runners feel that like they hate this chapter. It's like their least favorite. The thing I love the most about Resort is that it really to me it showcases the quote unquote difficulty of the game. You know, like it's traditionally for games, once you get to like the third level of any game, that's when like they're like, all right, this is how the game is really supposed to be now that you're warmed up. And I believe that Resort is a perfect example of that. You have a lot of rooms that are not just a single screen, they actually go a little bit longer. You have to deal with movable hazards such as the Dust Bunnies, and then just a lot of places to explore is like a huge mess. So it really showcases like to let the player know, like, hey, we've given you the rundown on the controls and everything, so now we're really gonna start putting you to the test, because if you can't get through this, then you are not prepared for the rest of the game. So it's just like a good launch pad for what the player is expecting. Also, the music's fantastic, and watching anybody just run through this chapter clean, it doesn't have to be very fast, it just needs to be clean. It's so satisfying to watch, and I think that's the real reason why I like it. Alright, so Hornlitz is through the crate portion of Huge Mess. I apologize for going on a little bit of a side tangent there as the race is going on. But Sefi now getting on his maze portion of Huge Mess here to meet up with Oshiro. And then now Hornlitz going through the books. Oh, dashing a little too early there. That's okay. Oh, again, dashing too early there too. Unfortunately, not getting the lift that he wanted. Having to take a death there. Oh. Hornlitz getting a few deaths here. Oh no, Sefi accidentally grabbing up on top there and having to take a death from our beautiful Dust Bunny friends. Alright, so Hornlitz is now out of the books and heading into the towel section, or linen, or whatever you want to call these articles of clothing. And now Sefi getting through the crate portion here. Especially the laundry room section, since this is the last one, a lot of the clutter is gone. So this is the most, you know, it's as dangerous as it can get. And just watching runners clear through it, it's like really nice to watch. Actually, I've seen somebody play the game recently, and they actually did the crate section last. In that room where the spike jump happens, there's like absolutely nothing there. So that room's difficulty like shoots up if you don't know how to do the spike jump portion of it. Alright, so Hornlitz is out of Huge Mess and moving into Elevator Shaft, and Sefi is finishing up his book section. Nice ultra from Hornlitz. We're going to see some nice acrobatics here in the key switch room, and he handles that very cleanly. As he starts getting into the race to presidential suite. Oh, missing his jump there, but didn't activate those tendrils, so he was able to give it another shot. And again, to go back, like the rooms are getting longer, so deaths can lead to a lot of time loss. Hornlitz breezing through that key room. Woo! Right, and Sefi doing this cycle skip there. Nice. And he is wrapping up his Huge Mess and heading into the elevator shaft portion of Chapter 3. Alright, so Hornlitz has made it to the presidential suite. And he's getting ready for his Oshiro fight. So with Oshiro, he's going to move himself around, try to line himself up with Madeline as you're navigating through all this Dust Bunnies and clutter. He's going to have a lightning bolt shoot across and make a beeline for you. But it's possible to not really have him be an issue if you have a good route. Nice awareness from Hornlitz. I think he knew he wasn't going to make that dash to beat out that Dust Bunny, so opting for an alternate route. And again, right there too. Wasn't sure if he was going to clear it or not, so he decided to wait. And now SefiCompacto working on his key here, running into a little bit of a hang-up here on these Dust Bunnies. So the important thing about that room is you want to be as consistent as you can with your hyper dashes. If you change them up, if you go too high, obviously you're going to run into the Dust Bunnies. If you go too low, you won't make it to the platform. So it's just really important to be consistent there. But Hornlitz is out of Resort and heading into Golden Ridge. Now, this is actually my least favorite chapter in the game. So the premise with Golden Ridge, you have these clouds that act like trampolines. You're going to have these green orbs, which act as a pseudo dash for Madeline. And then you're also going to have the wind. The mechanics themselves are not the reason why this is my least favorite. So with Golden Ridge, each room essentially has some sort of way to save time. Whether it be a huge chunk with like auto-scroller skips, or just some small ones where like you're jumping out of the green bubbles faster than normal, or just taking some optimal routes here and there. These little bits and pieces, if you can hit them all and have a very clean run, you will save so much time. But all it takes is just a few instances of like missing a skip, or you take a death. Like for example, these clouds here, like if you don't get the hyper off the clouds and get your dash back, you lose a little bit of time there, and it just all can start to add up very quickly. Same with that spike jump. There's like all these little bits and pieces that, you know, if you mess up, you just lose time, and it adds up quickly if you are having a difficulty in running this chapter. But Hornlitz is doing a fantastic job right now. I know he ran into a little bit of a hiccup early on, but he gets his auto-scroller skip there. Like this room, for example, you know, you got the wind against you, and you got to... The optimal strat is to just hyper dash out and get that, or excuse me, extended hyper out to get that. But if you miss that, you lose a lot of time. So it's just one of those things. And like this room too, like every room, like I hate to sound like a broken record, but every room just has the opportunity to like shave seconds off of your run. But a death just like basically tacks it on twice as much. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I don't like Ridge. Alright, so Sefi now getting started on his Ridge attempt here. As Hornlitz heads into our second auto-scroller skip here. Lining himself up, does that very nicely. Oh, Sefi taking a death there, jumping a little too short on that lock switch and now jumping too high. Oh no, was going to go the intended route by going straight up. Oh no. Sefi having a little bit of problems here, but he gets a nice recovery there. Way to get your bearings back. And now Hornlitz is moving along into the... I'm sorry, I forget the name of this section, but this is pretty much like where lots of high gusting winds are here. It's literally impossible for Madeline to just walk through this. She has to rely on her dash to get anywhere. So, new players, if they are not comfortable with using that mechanic, this section can be really difficult. But Hornlitz is moving along very nicely, skipping two of those springboards. He's got a few screens to go. Nice jump off that snowball. So those snowballs act similar to Oshiro, and but they come from right to left. There's no audio cue. There's no nothing. It's kind of set on a timer, but the further along you get to the end of a screen, the less time you have to react. So that was really good on Hornlitz's part to be aware of those. Unfortunately, running into a little bit of problems here in the second to last screen of Chapter 4. But still making great time. He looks like he might get a sub 330 here. Oh yeah, definitely. Looking at what, 224? 324? Excellent showing there. Nicely done. And now Sefi is continuing and moving his way through as well. Getting to his auto-scroller. Using a different route here. Going for this spike. Jumping off those little platforms there. That's one of the nice things too about Celeste is that runners, you know, like each screen has like its own approach. You can go the intended route, you can go the speedrun route, and then there's in those speedrun routes, there's just so many different ways you can handle them. And you don't necessarily have to go, like, there's not no said route, like, you have to do this if you want to, you know, be getting a decent time. You just go with whatever strat you're really comfortable with. And I think that's one of the biggest appeals about Celeste is that, you know, it's just up to how comfortable the runner feels in approaching each room. And Hornlitz, oh my gosh, he is blaring through chapter 5 right now. Already getting the key. We're gonna see if he's gonna go for a nice skip here in this next room. Looks like he's gonna go for it. Gonna get the no corner boost, unfortunately. Which if you corner boost there, it's possible to skip that entire room. But it's very tricky. Oh no, Sefi on that death cycle for the snowballs here. So they're gonna be coming at a different time. He's also opting to go the lower route there instead of taking that green bubble up high. See if he gets it here. Oh, he keeps... Oh, no. He keeps running into that wall and is basically clinging onto it so that Snowball can just line up. Oh, my gosh. No. Sefi, the snowballs are out for you today. Let's go. Nice. All right, so Hornlitz is now going through the Seeker tutorial. Basically, you take control of this little guy here, and you get to learn the ins and outs of what they are capable of. And it's over just like that. It's very short, but a little bit of foreshadowing. As we'll see here in a few screens on Hornlitz's side. Sefi coming into the tail end of his Golden Ridge time here. And see, like I said, I know I talked about the time saves and everything else. I didn't even touch on the snowballs. I think the snowball is the biggest reason why I don't like Golden Ridge, because you get into those spots where, like, if you're on the death cycle for that, it just messes up your timing. So, but both runners are now moving, or are in Mirror Temple. Hornlitz is going through the Seeker portion here. These little guys also, as you'll see here, they will activate the lock switches for Madeline by running into them. So runners will use that to... It's going to explode and bing bong. There you go. So he's got a few more screens of this and he's out and getting ready for the rescue portion. Also, you have these red platforms too. Oh my gosh. The Seeker's out for him. Oh, nice bop. Well, this is like, I need you to go somewhere. Get off me. But, they have those red platforms there. And what they do is if the Seekers run into them, they cease to exist, basically. So there's times where, like, a Seeker might just come out of nowhere and take one of your platforms, which will force the runner to kind of improvise that room in particular. Alright, so Hornlitz got his search skip, saving himself a good minute and some change. Basically, we do a reverse dash jump, and it allows us to get just enough distance to clear that room, instead of taking the intended route of grabbing some keys and grabbing a red bubble and zooming to victory. But Sefi now in the most stressful room in chapter 5, in my opinion. So this is all basically like a one-shot for Sefi, and you have these blades that kind of go through. He handles this very nicely, but if you are off cycle on that and take a death, it's just so much time loss. But Hornlitz is now going through the Theo section. I noticed that someone said that, oh, Sidejinx mentioned this was their favorite sequence. This one's pretty fun too, but also it can be a pain in the butt. I've seen runners have like a fantastic time going into the Theo section, and then it just goes away. Theo doesn't want to cooperate, just like right there. Or sometimes the Seekers they don't want to do what they're supposed to do. It's like you guys all have one job, and you're just not doing it. So far, everybody's being very nice to Hornlitz right now as he's a few screens from the end. Oh, missing Theo there, but able to recover nicely. Sefi now going through his first encounter with the Seekers. Oh no, Hornlitz did not get enough height to clear that wall. Madeline and Theo had to take a dive there. One room out. Alright, and Hornlitz is out. He's actually, this is a really good time. He could get sub 5 here. He's gonna have to hustle through this long corridor though, which is hard because you have these sound waves that kick in. and they pushed Madeline back, but you can dash through them similar to the wind. Still a very respectable time of 5:02. As Sefi is now in his secret portion here, activating these switches and utilizing that wall bounce. Uh-oh. Not gonna do nothing. That Seeker didn't even know what to do. he got shook so bad. Alright, so Sefi, one more room before he goes into his rescue portion. Choosing the retry there. Very interesting. I think he didn't get what he wanted in the opening. And again, I mentioned, like, if you don't get, you know, if you mess up on any part in this room in particular, the Seekers in question will do their best to just mess everything up. And I think he might have just did that to be like, look, I don't want to deal with trying to improv right now. Let me just do what I do. And he gets out very cleanly. So Hornlitz is on reflection here. Misses chance to send our Kevin block upwards, but he'll recover nicely. Also, I noticed that he opted not to go for Lake Skip, which is perfectly fine. That is like somewhat difficult. It involves a wall bounce, maybe even a spike jump. Sorry, I'm really bad at describing it because I don't do it myself. But it does save a lot of time, but if you mess it up, it's very easy. It's basically second try at tops. It'll save you a good amount of time, but if not, then you might as well just go the intended route. But Hornlitz is moving and grooving. Getting a nice boost there from Monsieur Kevin Block. Sefi enters his Theo section. So now, Hornlitz is in this part where there's basically two routes you can go. You can either take the top route or the bottom route. For the most part, it is the runner's choice, but everybody tends to go the top route minus one screen. For a second there, I thought Hornlitz was going to prove me wrong, but he did not. Oh, not getting his dash back there, having to try this room again. Oh no, Sefi running into problems. Theo not doing his job. Alright, there we go. Nice recovery from Sefi's screen. He's making his way through. That Seeker, woo! That Seeker had it out for him. And again, Theo not cooperating. Which always seems to be the case. Oh, ooh, okay, nice reactions there, Sefi. I see you. What? Okay, I don't understand how he did not get any lift off that dash block. Alright, so now, oh no. Hornlitz is in the section where we have these bumpers here. So they kind of move, sway back and forth. And it's possible to get a nice boost off of them if you hold the opposite direction as you come in contact with them. It sounds difficult, but since Madeline's dash is basically predetermined, you can give yourself a little bit of distance, dash out, and immediately hold the opposite direction to get that boost. And you can actually bypass some bumpers there. Unfortunately, Hornlitz, if I can speak, missing the feather in that part a few screens back and having to start over on there. Oh no, just barely not making that jump. As he gets ready for his ravine portion here. Sefi now entering reflection. I'm curious to see if he's going to go for Lake Skip or not. Alright, so Hornlitz is going through the ravine here. There are some intended developer shortcuts. That last one you actually have to readjust. The first two are easy to set up because you have a wall to use as a guide. But the big thing about the shortcut is that if you die, you have to start all the way back at the beginning. There are checkpoints, but it's like a second or two to activate it. So it's really up to the runner what they're comfortable with. If they want to actually go for the extra 2 seconds versus losing potentially 15 to, if not more. Alright, so Hornlitz is now on his battle and fight. So let's see those heyas in the chat. For this, you're basically confronting yourself, which actually, I think that's the name of the song for this. And you just want to keep getting in contact with Madeline because, well, you have to play the game to figure it out because this is definitely story-driven. But Madeline has a laser and also has these orbs that will kind of like target in on Madeline. So other than that, it's just like basic platforming. You have like those blocks that kind of fall down. They don't really play too pivotal of a role except for on a few screens. But for the most part, you just don't want to die. That's like the big one. So it's really just having a very clean battle in section that will make or break a reflection run. And so far, Hornlitz is doing a fantastic job here. We're gonna, as I say that, we're gonna head back over to Sefi's screen. He's working on his Kevin blocks right now. Gonna get a nice wall bounce here to get some boost across that thing. Alright. So, Hornlitz is getting ready to get into the second part of the battle and fight. So the first part, you have these bricks and everything, as I mentioned. The second round of it, Battling gets a little angry and decides to use in this screen. Got a little cutscene here. Alan's trying to convince her, yeah, you're not a mountain climber. I'm trying to help you. Like, nope, I'm not trying to hear it. And so now she's like, ah, powering up. So yeah, those blocks that were just falling down now, Madeline somehow has managed to take control of them and can activate them. Now there is a lot of momentum that will be happening, as you saw in the second screen, and it's also going to happen in, I think, this screen coming up right now. You'll see it again. But this section is actually a lot shorter than the first part. It's only, I'm gonna just throw a random number out. I'm gonna say it's like 6 or 7 screens, but they are pretty long. Like this one here in particular. Alright, so Sefi is getting prepared for his encounter with Battling as well. Ooh, I thought he was gonna get tagged by that laser, but Hornlitz is out. He's going to talk to Battling and get a level up here. Basically becoming quote-unquote complete. And is rewarded with an extra dash, which is being utilized here. Kind of like another tutorial, so to speak. But in preparation for the real mountain climb. As he heads into Summit. He's going to clock in at a sub 7. That's a very nice time. It looks like it's 6:48. Excellent job. So now, as we head into Summit, of course, PB check. Hornlitz is at a 33:16. I believe that he can PB here. He's gonna have to have a really tight Summit for that to work, but I think it is possible. He's entering at about 24:47, so if he gets a nice clean Summit run, we could see a PB. Now, PBs have been happening all day today. Oh. In fact, I think every race that I have commentated, not commented, a PB has occurred. We had a Black Pair PB today. I believe Dave Stereo also PB'd. And I think iCod might have PB'd too. I'm not 100% sure. No, that was the same race. I'm sorry. I can't remember the person's name, but it was the last race I commentated. I'm sorry. It's been a long day for me. A long, fun day commentating some fantastic races here for the Celeste Any Tournament. Alright, so Sefi now getting his battle and fight underway as Hornlitz enters 500 meters. And again, for the most part of Summit, the first 5 portions are recaps of each section of the game. So we start out with City. We're going to go into Old Site and then Resort, followed by Ridge. And then Mirror Temple. And I know a lot of people are like, well, what about Reflection? What about Chapter 6? Well, you gotta remember that we got knocked off the mountain. And that's basically where we start. So the order is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least that's my theory behind it. Alright, so Hornlitz is out heading into his 1000 portion as Sefi runs into more battle and action. Alright, so Hornlitz in the 1000 meter here. So we got our dream blocks yet again. Lots and lots of them. So enjoy that beautiful sound effect as Madeline soars through them. Now, we might see this from Hornlitz, but you can jump out of those dream blocks, and you can also hyper as he did there. So he did a hyper dash, which gets him a nice boost. You always are able to do that, but in Chapter 2, since we only have one dash, it's not really viable because you usually need your dash after leaving a block. But in this portion, since you have 2 dashes, runners are going to use that to basically just save more time off. I think in a previous race, you had from today, one runner was doing hypers out of the dream blocks and one runner wasn't, and it was definitely a noticeable difference because I believe they entered that at the same time. But now Sefi's starting up his second round of the battle and fight here. Ran into a little bit of trouble there. I think he missed his dash. And unfortunately had to take a death there. He's moving along too. As Hornlitz is getting ready to conquer 1500. So just like with Chapter 3, in 1500, this is like where it kind of ramps up yet again. The rooms are a lot longer. Death cycles are definitely in play here. Oh, and Hornlitz running into a little bit of a hiccup, opting to change the cycle by exiting and re-entering again. So he's handling that nicely. It's a few more and he's out. Nice. So he's got one more long room here, which is the Ultra Room. Let's see how he handles this. Ooh, nicely done. You're going to want to take a photo of that, because that's definitely something to write home about. So he's just going to move through. Also, Sefi now finishing up his reflection here. He's going to get that level up and get prepared to tackle the summit. Ooh, okay. Close call there. On Hornlitz screen. Oh, not that time, though. Unfortunately, that Dustmany is like, you got by my friend, but you're not going to get by me. Alright, so Hornlitz is out heading into 2000. As Sefi's going to clock in at a sub 8 minutes here. Very nice time. He's going to get ready for his summit ascent. Okay, I don't know how he missed that green bubble there. Game, I have some questions for you. Alright, so again, 2000, we got our win back, we got our auto scrollers, and we got our green bubbles. All coming together to just like hold Madeline back. Hornlitz handles that very nicely. Going to move into this auto scroller. Let's see, he's going to go for the skip here. Looks like he's going to set himself up. 1, 2. He nails it. It's one more wall bounce. And he's out. Lots of time saved there. And Sefi getting through the reflection portion of the summit. Oh, nice job. Got this high wind. The very rare instance where the wind actually pushes Madeline towards her destination rather than against it. Alright, so Hornlitz is about to enter the Madeline alley-oop section. I don't know why I keep saying Madison. I keep saying Madison instead of Madeline for some reason. I've done this all day. It's kind of weird. Anywho, Sefi making his way through 500 as Hornlitz is ready to enter 2500, which is the Mirror Temple portion. For being the final area before we hit 3000, which is the actual summit of the mountain, there's a lot of cool things that you can do in this portion of it. You're going to see a lot of great movement and some ultras here and there, such as this room here. And then also in this next one from Hornlitz, let's see it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oof. Poetry in motion, folks. I love it every time. Alright, getting his key skip there. Again, hitting a retry so that we can hurry up and get on our way. As Sefi gets ready to enter his 1000 portion here. Ooh. Using that dash block there to get a nice boost. Let's see if we can thread the needle here. Oh, getting clipped off top. Now off the bottom. Third time's a charm. Alright, folks. We know what you want. Door skip time. We got one. And he's getting two. He's out of there. Out of there with the quickness. As Sefi now working through his dream block portion here. Yes. Door skip is definitely free for Hornlitz. That was nicely done. Alright, so Hornlitz is now making his way to 3000, folks. So you know what time it is. start doing that countdown as he starts hitting these flags, starting with flag number 30. All right, now Sefi going into 1500 here. All right, so Hornlitz is going to begin his ascent. For the first section here, it's a huge downdraft, which basically is going to impair Madeline's upward movement. So we have to, again, rely on our dash to get around a lot of these obstacles. So you're going to see also a lot of wall bounces too. Oh, getting clipped by those spikes there on 24. So one of the things too is like if Madeline, due to the force of the wind, will actually start sliding down to get set up. So the downdraft portion takes a lot of practice to just get your route down and know what you're doing, so that you are so used to just doing it. It's muscle memory. It's just like boom, boom, boom. You know, dash here, climb here, wall bounce here, etc., etc. But now we have the updraft, the exact opposite. Madeline is extremely floaty, and to make up for that, you have a lot of long horizontal sections with not really anywhere to go, because it's riddled with spikes, as you see here. And so Hornlitz is moving along nicely as Sefi is now in 2000. He's moving through and getting through his wind portion. But Hornlitz handling this very nicely, getting through flag 13. Very nice. Moving into, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Dashed up forward a little too early there on 12, but he gets a nice recovery as he moves into 11 here. Now, one of the hot trends today that I've noticed is a lot of runners have been skipping flag 2. And in some instances, they're also skipping flag 1. But I've been seeing a lot of deaths in flag 1, and what has been happening is they get warped all the way back to flag 3. So I'm hoping this is not going to happen again. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Alright, so Sefi getting close to the Battle and Alley-Oop section here. Just got to get through this last little portion here. Dashing early so that we can just dive in and make our way through. Now Hornlitz on the last portion here. We got our feathers making a comeback as he moves into flag 3. That section is very tricky because sometimes Madeline will kind of like float out of the feather. And so you have to really be prepared with where you're going to be landing. Oh no, Hornlitz not getting the movement that he wanted and having to retry there as he makes his way towards flag 1. Sefi now in 2500. Oh, he was going for the ultras and unfortunately taking a death there. Right, so Hornlitz is a hop, skip, and a jump away from the summit here. And he is in at, looks to be at 3450. Hornlitz is your winner for this race. I believe he will be going on to race against, I think I said it earlier, but I'll double check. Hold on. We are going to switch our audio over to Sefi's so that we can continue on his journey through Summit. Oh my gosh, if there was a worse place to get a corner bop, are you kidding me right now? I know he can't be happy with that. That's what I was saying about the corner bops. It's just like, sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. And you really, like in that situation, there was really nothing he could do because he didn't even get his dash back. It's just really unfortunate, but it is a part of the game. He's going for door skip, getting the first part. But repositioning himself and, oh. Gonna try it again. Getting that first part again. Oh no. Third time's a charm. It is. That's been the hot trend for this race. Alright, so Sefi moving through the vertical portion here, getting ready for his 3000. So I will double check to see who Hornlitz is going to be going up against here. Just give me one moment. That's right. So the next match for Hornlitz is he's going to be going against Valu. Now, if I remember correctly, both of these runners were the first seed out of their group. So that's going to be an intense match. And now Sefi is out and getting ready for his 3,000 ascent. So if you could be so kind, chat, to do the countdown yet again. So we cheer on Sefi getting through here. He's still making decent time. He's definitely in line to potentially hit a sub 40 if he can have a solid 3,000 here. Opting for that alternate route there. The intended route is to go left at the entrance of 28, but there's a nice wall bounce that you can do on the right side to save a little bit of time. And again, wow, these wall bounces are just, whew! So far so good on, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, Sefi. Like, he's doing pretty well. Well, he still is doing pretty well. It's just that, you know, my commentator curse has come out to play. Oh, I'm just a little bit of hiccup here on flag 21. Let's see if we can get his bearings back. Alright, slowing his pace down to make sure he gets through that, which is definitely a strat. I mean, you want to go as fast as possible, obviously, it's a race, but I think it's just been kind of noticed that having like control and being able to take care of a lot of stuff over speed has been very, very beneficial for some runners in these races. Right, so Sefi's now in the updraft portion. Hitting into flag number... Well, these all fly by so quickly. He's on 14 now. Like 16 and 15 are just like, why are you even here? I mean, I know why you're here, because if you had to actually go from like 16 to 13 in one go, that'd be really stressful. He's in 13 now, getting his lock switches, and is continuing his trek. Okay, whoo! Nice recovery there. Was trying to do that neutral wall jump so that he could bypass that little bit of spikes, but wasn't going to be able to get back, and excellent effort on him to readjust himself so he can make it. Oh, but taking a death there though, unfortunately. I'm going to try this one again. Oh! Dashing... It appears dashing a little too early. A third time? Oh my gosh. That little column of spikes is giving Sefi a little... There you go. A little bit of problems there as he heads into flag 9. Alright. So we're going to keep going here as he gets ready for his home stretch. Alright, home stretch time. What's nice is that you don't have to worry about flag 5 because it is a screen change. So you can choose to, like, you know, not offer to hit that. But running into a little bit of a hiccup here. And now making his way go into flag 3. Our last instance of our feather usage here. I lied, there's one more right there. Haha! Now that's the last feather. Alright, so he's in the home stretch. There's a few more dashes here. Oh no, dashing too early and clipping those spikes there. It looks like he might have been concerned about his stamina because he was doing some jumps up the wall, but then opted to climb because you do run out of stamina. It's very easy to do. Alright, so he's on flag 1 here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, so we are going to get there at a 41.25. GG, Sefi. And again, Hornlitz is your winner. He's going to move ahead to face Valu in round 2 of the upper bracket. Again, Sefi is not out of the race. He's moving into the lower bracket portion where he's going to face Vital GL and have a mountain to climb, so to speak, as he works his way through the lower bracket. And I'm going to go ahead and look through some of the upcoming matches that we have in the tournament. We have some tomorrow, but I'm talking about some that are going to be happening as we move into round 2 of the bracket portion of the tournament. All right, so as I mentioned, we have Valu versus Hornlitz. And then, let's see, what do we got here? Looks like Birdo Prey versus Malix. This is going to be a good one, too. Oh, Maya Undefined in M Sushi. I think this can also be a very exciting one, too. And then we have Ben Teasy versus Moose SR. Let's see. Well, actually, that's all I think we have for the upper bracket. I'm going to the lower bracket to see what we got going on here. If there's anything established. Gab X Frozen versus Texter in the lower bracket. We have Silvervis versus Black Pear, and a few others. So definitely check out that bracket, just to kind of see where everybody's at. I've been doing well, thanks, Don the Nintendo Freak. We just finished up here. It looks like maybe there won't be an interview. I'm not sure unless Hornlitz... Oh, actually, you know what? Oh my gosh, Hornlitz is in the room with me the whole time. He just snuck in here.
How's it going?
How's it going, man?
I'm doing all right.
I was not paying attention. I hope you weren't in here for a long time while I was just rambling on about stuff.
I was waiting for the race to finish. It's okay.
Okay. Well, let's get your thoughts on the race overall. How'd you feel about that? Clocking in at a 34.50.
Overall, I'm actually pretty happy about that. It's not one of my best times that I've gotten, you know, here in the tournament, but I haven't had a lot of time to practice recently, and so being able to still pull off a 34 with being under practiced, I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know how that goes. I have been in instances where I'm out of practice too, and that's a big thing I think a lot of people don't understand is that, you know, it's like, oh, you must be so, you know, it's like, oh, it's like riding a bike. Kind of not really, because if you don't practice for like a day or two, it's definitely apparent.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah,
definitely.
Kudos to you for being in that range. I like to call it, you know, being like 2 minutes up or down from your PB. That's always a nice consistency there. How do you feel about your upcoming race versus Valu?
I'm a little nervous about that one. Valu is, I think he's about my skill level, and so it'll be a tight race. I'm gonna have to practice for that one a lot. Probably, okay. Yeah. I'm a little nervous about that one.
Out of curiosity, did you check any of the other races that have been going on this week?
I haven't seen any of them yet. No.
Okay. This might lead into a more difficult question here. I was gonna ask, do you have any like dark horses that might just pull a little bit of a surprise or upset in the tournament portion or the bracket portion of the tournament?
I'm not quite sure. Let me pull up the bracket actually right now, see if I can figure that out. Wherever it is, right there. At the moment, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of these people play recently, so I don't really have a good estimate on how good they'll, what kind of times they can pull off consistently now. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have an answer to that question.
Oh, no worries. It's perfectly fine. I will say, if you're interested in watching one of the races, I would definitely watch Black Pear versus Moose SR from today. It's definitely one of the closest races that I've had to commentate, and I've already been saying this like throughout the entire tournament, like just hyping up Black Pear left and right. I do feel that even though he's in the lower bracket portion, I feel in the long run that's actually going to benefit him a lot, because being in the lower bracket, you have to play more matches to quote unquote catch up to where the winners are at. And I feel that giving him the opportunity to have more races under his belt is just going to continue to build on his confidence. I mean, he PB'd today and hit sub 34.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
And then also, like, to put in perspective, at the beginning of the tournament during groups, he started at a 45.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's just been hacking away at it. So I think giving him more opportunities to just, like, improve on his time, he could make a good run through the lower bracket portion of the race.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that happening.
Also, at least from another one, Flatterby as well. Like, he's been doing exceptionally well, and he's also, I think, the only other runner that's sub 31 right now on speedrun.com, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
But yeah, I feel like that he, if he continues to make that drive, like, we could see some heated competition as we get later into the bracket.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, all right. So do you have any closing thoughts or anything, any shout outs that you want to do before we wrap this one up, Hornlitz?
Well, I did want to actually correct one thing that you said earlier, back when I was still lurking in the chat here. You said that both me and Valu were first seed in the tournaments, or in the first tournament seed thing. That's not actually true. I was second seed. I think Valu was first seed, though.
Oh, okay. My mistake on that, folks. I apologize.
No worries. For that. No worries about that. I kind of, at the start of the group seed there, I kind of improved really quickly from like a 36 down to a 33 pretty quickly. So I was beating some of the first seed times. So I definitely think that it could be a close match there.
Okay. So you guys were in the same? Were you in the same group then?
No, we weren't. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first seed in my seed was Oddbod. So.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Again, thanks for stopping in, Hornlitz. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for commentating the race, and thanks for having us on Speed Gaming.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Again, thanks everybody for watching. We do have a Mega Man 2 rando that is coming up, so be sure to tune in and enjoy that. I know I'm gonna stick around. But you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time.